My beloved ones, let me ask you this. How do you truly know when the infinite is intervening in your life, guiding you, protecting you, lifting you? Is it when the skies open and a voice thunders your name? Is it when miracles blaze forth with dazzling light? Or is it, perhaps, in the subtle quiet movements of your life, the gentle whisper in the heart, the sudden light in the mind, the strength that arises when all seems lost? Often we imagine God's help to be grand, dramatic, filled with visible wonder. But in truth, the divine moves most often in silence, like the unseen roots of a tree that hold it steady in the storm. You may not always see his hand, but if you open the eyes of the soul, you will discover that he is always present, always guiding, always acting for your highest good. Consider the ocean. On the surface, there may be storms, waves, and the roaring winds of destiny. But beneath, in the great depths, there is calm, there is stillness. So it is with the life of man. On the surface, you see trials, changes, unexpected turns, losses and gains. But deep beneath, God is the silent current carrying you home to him. To know his help, you must learn to dive beneath the surface of appearances into the stillness of the spirit. There are unmistakable signs that God is helping you. They may not always come as you expect, but if you look carefully, they are there, guiding you like stars in the night sky. The first sign of divine help is when you find yourself saved in moments of hopelessness. How many times have you thought, "This is the end, there is no way forward," and yet somehow a way opened? Perhaps a stranger's kindness appeared just when you were in need. Perhaps a new door opened after all others were closed. Perhaps, when you thought you could not endure another day, an inner strength arose within you like a hidden spring. This is not accident. This is God quietly working on your behalf. His hand often hides behind what men call chance, but there is no chance in the divine plan. What seems like coincidence is God's perfect orchestration. I remember a young disciple who once came to me with tears in his eyes. He said, "Master, I was drowning in despair, thinking I could not continue. But suddenly, without explanation, a calm came upon me. I felt as though someone invisible was holding me, whispering, 'Do not give up, I am with you.' Was that my imagination?" And I said to him, "No, my child, that was God. He often speaks not in thunder, but in the still small voice of assurance. When strength comes to you beyond your own, when peace appears in your heart like an uninvited guest, know that the divine has touched you." Another sign of God's help is the appearance of human instruments at just the right time. You may be wandering in confusion, and then someone speaks a word that changes the course of your life. You may be in danger, and someone arrives to protect you. You may be seeking guidance, and a teacher or friend is placed in your path. Do not see only the person. See the invisible hand that sent them. The infinite often uses human beings as messengers, though they themselves may not be aware of it. Behind every helpful word, behind every saving gesture, is the unseen love of God. In the scriptures it is written, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." When the shepherd leads his flock, the sheep do not always know where they are being taken. But the shepherd knows the pastures, the streams, the safe valleys. So too, God sends into your life the people, the events, the circumstances that will lead you to green pastures of the soul. If you look only with the eyes of the body, you will think, "This person helped me." But if you look with the eyes of the soul, you will see that it was God working through them. A third sign of divine help is the transformation of the inner being. Outwardly, nothing may have changed. The problem may still be there, the difficulty may still surround you. But suddenly, inside, a calm arises. You find courage where once there was fear. You find clarity where once there was confusion. You find patience where once there was only restlessness. This inner shift is not created by the mind, for the mind cannot produce peace in the midst of chaos. It is God's grace, descending into your consciousness. Even if nothing else changes, this inner change is already his greatest help, for it places you above the storm, anchored in the stillness of the spirit. Imagine a sailor caught in a stormy sea. The winds roar, the waves rise high, and all seems lost. But then he remembers the anchor. He casts it deep, and though the storm rages above, the ship holds steady. So it is when God helps you inwardly. The storms of life may continue, but the soul, anchored in his peace, remains unshaken. The fourth sign of God's help is one that many misunderstand: the removal of things you once clung to. The human heart often cries out in pain when something is taken away: a relationship, a possession, a dream, a comfort. But what the soul does not see in the moment is that this removal is also a form of divine help. For God knows what binds you, what keeps you small, what blocks the greater blessings he wishes to give you. Sometimes he must take away the lesser, so you may be ready to receive the greater. There was once a disciple who prayed earnestly for a particular desire. He begged God day and night, but instead of granting it, the desire was taken from him. He felt betrayed, abandoned. But later, he realized that had God given him that which he begged for, his life would have been entangled in sorrow. Instead, the removal created space for a higher path, one that led him to true joy. Thus, when God takes away, it is never cruelty. It is always mercy disguised. Learn to trust him even in loss, for his vision is infinite, while yours is bound by time. And then, beloved ones, there is the sweetest sign of all: the direct experience of God's joy. At times, without warning, you may feel an inner expansion, a bliss that has no cause, as if the soul were touched by a light beyond this world. It may come in meditation, in prayer, in stillness, or even in the midst of ordinary life. Suddenly, you are lifted above yourself, and you know beyond doubt that the divine is near. This joy is not of the senses nor of the mind. It is the very essence of spirit. It is God's way of saying, "See, I am with you. I am not far. I am the very joy of your soul." This joy is the most certain assurance of divine help, for no earthly thing can give it, and nothing can take it away. It is the proof that God is real, that he is not a theory or a belief, but a living presence. If you have felt even one drop of this nectar, know that you have tasted eternity. And if you nurture it with devotion, it will grow until it becomes your constant state. Now, some may ask, if God is always helping, why does life still bring so much suffering? My children, suffering itself is often God's hidden help. For suffering breaks the shell of pride, humbles the ego, awakens compassion, and drives the soul to seek higher realities. If life were always easy, if every desire were instantly fulfilled, you would remain asleep in the dream of the world. But when difficulties come, they shake you awake. They force you to search for a higher refuge. And in that search, you discover the only refuge that never fails: God himself. Think of the sculptor and his stone. The marble may complain, "Why do you strike me with your chisel? Why do you wound me?" But the sculptor smiles, for he sees the statue within. Every strike removes what is unnecessary, until the beauty hidden inside is revealed. So it is with your life. The blows of destiny are the chisels of God, shaping you into the soul he knows you can become. Do not curse the blows. Bless them, for they are the very proof that God is at work in you. Beloved ones, to recognize God's help, cultivate silence. The world is noisy, restless, filled with distractions. In such noise, the whispers of the divine are lost. But when you enter the stillness of meditation, you begin to feel his presence, to hear his guidance, to sense his hand. Each day, close your eyes, calm the breath, withdraw from the senses, and offer your heart to him. In that inner temple, you will find that God has been helping you all along, not from afar, but from the very core of your being. I tell you this with certainty. The divine helper never abandons his children. Human friends may fail, possessions may vanish, health may weaken, the world itself may change beyond recognition, but God remains. Even at the final hour, when breath leaves the body and all that you know dissolves, he will be there, carrying your soul into the light. To realize this is the greatest comfort, the greatest assurance, the greatest freedom. So, when you wonder, is God helping me? Look at your own life with new eyes. See the rescues that came when all seemed lost. See the people who appeared at just the right time. See the inner strength that rose when you thought you could not go on. See the losses that later proved to be blessings. See the moments of inexplicable joy that revealed his nearness. These are the signs. These are the footprints of God walking beside you. My children, do not wait for thunderbolts and miracles. See God's help in the everyday, in the quiet, in the subtle, in the hidden. The more you open your heart with gratitude, the more his presence will become clear. Gratitude sharpens your vision. Devotion makes you receptive. Meditation makes you certain. Then, everywhere you go, you will feel his help surrounding you, guiding you, sustaining you. Each morning when you wake, say, Lord, guide me today. Live through me. Help me to see your hand in everything. And each night, before you sleep, say, Lord, thank you for all the ways you have helped me, seen and unseen. In this way, you will train your soul to live in constant awareness of his help. Life itself will become a divine conversation, an ongoing exchange of love between you and your eternal friend. And one day, when the veil is fully lifted, you will realize that there has never been a moment when God was not helping you. His love is the air you breathe, his guidance the path beneath your feet, his strength the beating of your heart, his joy the very essence of your soul. All along it was he. All along it was his hand. Beloved ones, open your eyes. The signs are everywhere.